Sherklin, Shadow What If here to bring you part 1 to What If Deku was Killer Croc. Now, my Zombie Apocalypse Deku is a small series I'm going to do every few What Ifs, so yeah. The series What Ifs are going to be called episodes, normal What Ifs are going to be part, okay? Okay, the reason I'm doing this one is because, well, I've had this in mind for a while, and this is going to be very interesting as a what if. Just the direction I'm hoping it will go is gonna be very emotional. Now we'll start off when Izuku is born. Now, Izuku pops out of Inko, and Asashi is a little freaked out of his son's appearance. The doctors take young Izuku away, and Hisashi plans to ask Inko why their son looks the way he looks. So a few hours later, Inko wakes up. Hisashi is holding baby Izuku, and Hisashi asks that, why does Izuku look like this? And Inko, feeling a little bit better, explains that on her father's side she has mutation quirks. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, Hisashi. Now, Hisashi's upset that Inko forgot to tell him that mutation quirks won in his life, one in her family, but he just shoots it off as a common mistake. Now, through the years, some bullies that isn't Bakugo just start bullying him because of how he looks. And that puts a lot of emotional doubt on his mind. Now, Bakugo does protect Izuku, and one day while he was protecting Izuku from his bullies, Bakugo got his quirk. He accidentally exploded one of the bully's face. So yeah, the teacher comes over, asks what happened. Kids start crowding around, and Bakugo just explains that these kids were bullying my friend Izuku just because he's going to have a mutation quirk. As the teachers could see that, it's pretty obvious that he's going to have a mutation type quirk. And Bakugo says, I got my quirk as well. As the teacher says, wait, really? As Bakugo says, yeah. As the teacher says, well, I will call your parents along with their parents. Tell them along with Izuku's parents, tell them what they've been doing. Tell your mom that what you've been doing, and also tell your mom that you got your quirk. As all the kids start gathering around Bakugo, as he's sparking little explosions in his hand, as all the kids, including Bakugo, are amazed as Izuku, that just, well, as of right now, is the same height as all kids his age. As well, Izuku says, well, it looks like you have an explosion quirk. I wonder how it works. As Bakugo says, yeah, cool. As we get to like halfway through class, when Inko, Mitsuki, and the bully's parents walk in. As well, Inko is naturally worried for her son, checking if there's any bruises or scars on him, but there isn't none thanks to his hard scales. As well, yeah. Inko and Mitsuki are proud at Bakugo for defending Izuku because, well, Izuku doesn't really like fighting in this one. He still wants to be a hero, but he'd rather talk stuff out than straight up fight. As Mitsuki and Inko both say that he's gonna make an excellent hero when it comes to defusing a situation along with hostage situations. As Bakugo and Izuku agree. As Mitsuki says, I can't English. Katsuki, I've booked you in to see the croc doctor tomorrow. As Inko says, wait, really? Tomorrow's Izuku's 4th birthday, and I've booked him in to see what his quirk is. As Izuku says, wait, really? Izuku says, yes. It was meant to be a surprise, but I am an idiot when it comes to being a protective parent. As she giggles a bit, along with Mitsuki smiling, saying, yeah, that's kind of obvious. As Mitsuki says, come on, we will... No, hang on. Mitsuki says, Inko, why don't you, your son, and Hisashi come over for dinner, and we can talk. As Inko says, that'd be a great idea. As well, we'll skip a few hours, and Izuku and Bakugo are playing out the back, playing tips. As that's also, as they're having fun, Mitsuki and Inko are talking in the kitchen, while Hisashi and I still can't remember Bakugo's father's name, so I'm just gonna call him Mr. Bakugo until I bloody remember. Yeah, Hisashi and Mr. Bakugo are by the barbecuing and talking. As well, when it comes to dinner time, and they're having hamburgers. As well, yeah, they eat, have fun, talk a little more, and then Hisashi, Inko, and Izuku go home. And, well, we'll skip to the next day when Izuku comes down from his bedroom, looking at Inko and Hisashi, saying, I'm ready to see what my quirk is. As Hisashi gets off the phone saying, "Sorry, bud, but I need to go in to work today. They're a bit short-staffed." As Inko says, "Okay, dear. When you get back, I'll tell you Izuku's quirk." So Hisashi says, "Okay." Hugs Izuku, hugs and kisses Inko, and says, "Have a great day." As Izuku shouts, "I will, Dad." As well, we'll skip to when they get to the Croc Doctor. They see Bakugo and Mitsuki already in the waiting room. As well, Inko says, "Why don't you go talk to Bakugo while I book us in?" As Izuku says, "Okay, Mum." She runs over to them and starts talking and playing a few games with Bakugo. As well, Mitsuki and Inko are talking, and the doctor comes out saying, "Bakugo." As Mitsuki says, "That's us. Come on, Katsuki." As Bakugo says, "Yes, Mum. I'll see you when I come out, Izuku." As well, half an hour later, Bakugo comes out saying, "My croc has got explosions." As Izuku smiles at this, says, "Knew it." But how does it work, Bakugo? As Bakugo says, I sweat nitroglycerin. It's what I use to light my explosions. So that means I have to train my body to take the shockwave of my explosions. The doctor said if I'm not careful, I could break all my bones just by the shockwave of my explosions. As well, Izuku says, "Well, you better get to work then." As Bakugo, following Mitsuki on their way out, says, "I will." Now the Croc Doctor goes a few more people until he comes out and says, "Midoriya." As Inko grabs Izuku and goes to the Croc Doctor saying, "That's us." As well, the Croc Doctor does his tests and comes to them with the results. As he says, "Well, Mrs. Midoriya, your son does have a pretty powerful quirk." Izuku says, "Really?" As the Croc Doctor goes, "Yes. I've named it Emergency Evolution." As Inko looks at the Croc Doctor questioningly, saying, "Emergency Evolution? What can it do?" Croc Doctor simply explains that, it's a two-way street, his quirk. I think I was even more confused as the Croc Doctor says, "Well, for his quirk to, activate, his body needs to take an attack that literally traumatizes him. And then his body will evolve to be able to take that hit again and not even pierce his skin." As well, Inko's very shocked by this. As Inko says, "You said it's a two-way street. What's the drawback?" As the Croc Doctor says, "The drawback is every time he evolves, his mind just starts going more and more. Meaning if he evolves too many times, he will go completely psychopathic. Zinko is just shocked by this, and is a little sad but doesn't let Izuku show it. Izuku not even paying attention says, "Mom, I'm gonna be a great hero." As Inko, putting on a brave face, turns to Izuku saying, Yes, you will, honey. Now, come on, we need to go home." Izuku says, "Okay, bye, Mr. Doctor." As the Croc Doctor waves, saying, "Bye." We'll skip to when Hisashi gets home. Izuku, sitting watching All Might videos, as Inko starts telling Hisashi about Izuku's quirk and what it can do. Hisashi says, "Does he know? Like, was he there for the explanation?" As Inko says, "He was there, but he wasn't paying attention all that much to what it does to him. And I believe it's best that you explain it to him." As Hisashi just says, "Okay, I'll go explain it to him now." As well, Hisashi starts explaining what Izuku's quirk can do, what it does, and... Oh, I forgot to mention this. Also, after he evolves, his strength and stamina and durability also doubles in the process. As Izuku's just saddened that he could turn into a villain by accident. As well, we'll skip a few years. As well, yeah, by this point Izuku would have evolved a few times, but that was due to him stop bullying and bullies using their quirk on him, but yeah, that really isn't an issue. He does get some, I'm going to say, outbursts of rage here and there, but nothing to worry about. As well, the school he is in knows everything about his quirk and know what to do. As well, one day when Izuku gets home, he sees his mother crying, sitting on the floor. As he goes, "Mom, are you okay?" As Inko just looks at her son, saying, "Honey, your father died at his job due to a villain attack." This just broke Izuku. His dad died to a villain attack. As well as he just drops his school bag and runs out of the house. As Inko lets him go because she continues crying herself. And just because Inko kept herself in shape. Because, well, yeah. Fit Inko? Yes. The Inko we see in the anime? Not so much. As well, Izuku's taller than kids his age. Yeah. I'm keeping it with the killer croc aesthetic, saying that he just towers over the middle school students as well. As a villain attack happens. But this is when something strange happens. All Might shows up, along with Endeavor, as their terrible tag team against the villain is absolutely atrocious. As well as Izuku gets hit hard with debris, and I mean hard. And as All Might thinks the kid's dead, he sees the rubble just get lifted and get chucked directly at all three of them. As he just sees this creature heal. This is when Izuku lets out a huge roar as his mutating, evolving, took away a good chunk of what reasoning in his mind he had left. As well, he just started attacking without reason. As he managed to take out Endeavor with pretty much ease, because he is basically immune to fire at this point. As All Might, knowing that this thing is the most dangerous thing right now and works to take him out, as he's actually shocked that this thing can match him. As well, Inko sees on the news that as Inko turns on the news, as soon as he turns it on, she hears, "This creature is equal to All Might." It's incredible. As Inko recognizes the creature as Izuku. And the news shows a clip of when it started. Izuku just everything up to the point of All Might and Izuku battling head to head. As well, All Might then manages to knock out Izuku after like an hour of just straight combat. So he's pretty tired as Izuku is taken away as Inko shows up to where he's locked in and explains his quirk and everything. As well, they let her in to see Izuku, but all they see is this. But all she sees is this sociopathic thing that he essentially took away her son. As well, as they looked eye to eye, and she can tell Izuku's still in there, but deep down. As well, All Might hears the news that it's the quirk that made him that way, and it hears everything about Izuku's quirk and walks to the police station. No, not the police station, the way he's held. Sees Inko sitting there as he walks up to her saying, "Ma'am, why are you sitting outside this kid's door?" As she looks up All Might saying, "That's my son." As All Might is shocked and is that, but your son has a mutation quirk, and you don't seem to have any sign of mutation quirk on you. As Inko says, my father's side of the family has powerful mutation quirks. As All Might says, and I've heard about your son's mutation quirk. It's actually incredible. As Inko says, yeah, it is. And it would be perfect for hero work, but after finding out he lost his father today and him evolving due to traumatic damage, his quirk finally turned him sociopathic. As All Might says, that's why I'm here. As Inko looks up saying, what do you mean? As All Might just says, well, I feel bad for him and what he has to go through due to his quirk, so I'm gonna pay for him to go to the best asylum in Japan to be able to sort out his problems and what causes him like this. As Inko just starts crying as she says, thank you, All Might. How could I ever repay you? As All Might kneels down to face her and says, It's nothing to worry about. Really, you don't have to repay me in any way. So, yeah, the paperwork goes through and Izuku's shift gone to the asylum. Now, I'm not going to name the asylum just because I haven't come up with a name and because I'm lazy as fuck. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it off here. Remember to comment, like, and or subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and peace.